My name is Zaquan Williams, and in this video I wanted to do a review of the Flash Season 7, Episode 9, which aired yesterday on Tuesday, the 11th of May, 2021. So basically what happened last night is Barry and the rest of the Team Flash tried to figure out a way to get rid of all the forces that they had obviously created after they brought back the Speed Force and helped revive her and whatnot, and how they all created Dion, Psych, Fuerza, and there's a fourth person, I believe it's supposed to be some type of kid or something. I think I heard that, but I don't remember exactly who that person is or whatnot, but we'll see what happens with that. The Speed Force killed Fuerza, and the character's name was Alexa or Alexis. Team Flash was able to bring her back. Also, the Speed Force killed Dion at the end of the episode, so I don't know what's going to happen with that next week. Psyche is still alive, and also Alexa/Alexis, which is Fuerza. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the continued back and forth arguments with the Team Flash over ethics and killing people, taking lives, and how they wanted to go about the situation properly, with Barry taking all the tachyon particles and obviously making sure that he was able to do the right thing as far as getting rid of the forces, not killing the people that was who were obviously taking control of the bodies. He wanted to make sure they stayed alive, but he wanted to do it his way. He thought it was a good idea. Iris disagreed with him. She thought it was a wrong thing to do. Cisco agreed to help him at first, but then he obviously Barry mentioned to Cisco he had to go back in time in order to do this, and Cisco said, "You're going to create another time crisis, obviously a flashpoint that's going to screw up the timeline." And some of us, and obviously what Cisco's probably thinking is that some of us could be erased from existence. More villains could be coming from other Earths and obviously other timelines to obviously screw up obviously not just the timeline in general, but destroy and terrorize the city of Star City and the citizens and whatnot. We'll see what happens with that. What's been happening in the past couple weeks on The Flash, obviously, not just what I've been learning about Tom Cavanaugh and Carlos Valdez, who play Cisco Ramon and Harrison Wells on the show. They're going to be leaving. It was announced a couple weeks ago that they're going to be leaving the show as regular cast members. Right here, as you can see, Camilla, who obviously is Cisco's girlfriend, will be leaving with him too. She was saying something in this episode about going to San Francisco, so I guess they're going to be moving to San Francisco. They'll be back, obviously, on the show. As far as regular characters, no, but they will make guest cameo appearances from here until the show's over. Obviously, this is at the end of the season 7. They won't be there for a couple episodes, but they'll probably be in the final episode, obviously, which is the season finale. Harrison Wells was in this episode as well. They went back into the year 2000 to grab him and bring him back. Barry Allen did that, obviously, because he was, like I said, in case you didn't know, this different form of Harrison Wells obviously can time travel, so he decided to go back into the year 2000 to stay with his wife. Apparently, I guess she was alive back then. I guess he was able to do that because he has the ability to time travel. So Barry Allen had to go back to the past, grab him, and bring him back to the current year 2021, because he was in the year 2000 on a vacation beach resort type of a house environment where he was at. They grab him to help in order for him to help them out as far as trapping these forces and obviously getting rid of them. As far as the connection between the forces and obviously Barry Allen and obviously the rest of the team, is that Barry created them, and the rest of the team, obviously, when they decided to bring the Speed Force back, the Speed Force obviously has been reckless and is not obviously agreeing with Barry. She stated she's going to kill the forces with or without Barry's help, and that's his decision to make if she wants to help him. But she was stating that if Barry doesn't, he won't be able to save everybody, because it's going to be a big, huge problem on his hands. That was the case. We saw Dion making an appearance in this episode. He was mad at Barry and the rest of the team because he figured out that they wanted to get rid of him. He said he was a god and that he's fine the way he is, and they can't do anything to stop him. As I stated at the end of this episode, the Speed Force caught up with Barry, who was obviously taking the form, and it looks like Barry Allen's mother, Nora Allen, and she took out Dion. That's what it looked like, obviously, at the end of the episode. So we'll see what happens with that. Psyche was almost gone, but after Barry destroyed the, I think it was the tachyon vest or whatever, all the Speed Force particles came out, and all the the forces were came back to life basically. So he decided to change his mind after he talked to Joe West, obviously, about that. And he said that they're basically Barry's children, and you can't let your children down. You have to give them a chance, and then let them make their decisions on their own. I thought that was really weird, and this obviously has been really weird the past couple weeks. With not just with people now leaving the show and whatnot, but now it's looking like the show will be over next year in 2022 with the eighth and final season, which it stated that Grant Gustin is going to be leaving the show. And will no longer be picking up continuing to have the mantle and pick it up again as the Flash. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, Cisco and Harrison Wells are going to be gone, so we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be very interesting to see what takes place with that. It's very unfortunate that's the case, but like I said, it's something that happens. Lots of shows are going to be gone. The last season of Black Lightning, Supergirl are currently happening right now. Green Arrow just ended about a year ago. Superman Lois has been renewed for a second season. I don't know if Batwoman's been renewed for a third season. I think it possibly has been, along with Stargirl. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. It's very unfortunate that that's the case. As you can see right here, this article on ScreenRant.com says The Flash sets up a third character exit in Season 7. While The Flash Season 7 is already losing 2 original cast members, the recent episode sets up the exit of yet another recurrent Flash character, which is obviously Camilla, who is obviously Cisco Ramon's girlfriend. They're going to be moving to San Francisco. It looks like that was established in this episode when she mentioned it, and how they both said at the same time, I have something to tell you, and then they both came out and said it, I need to leave Star City. They literally both said that at the exact same time, like it was like a 90s comedy movie. I thought that was cheesy and corny. I thought that was really just like ridiculous. I thought that really was. Like, oh my god, like we both said the same thing at the exact same time. I need to leave Star City. And then she said, Cisco said, what are you going to tell the Team Citizen? And then she told him, what are you going to tell Team Flash? And whatnot. So I thought that was just weird. The exchange between Harrison Wells and Cisco Ramon about a man needs to follow his heart and whatnot was kind of good, because he told Cisco what he needed to do and how he was happy that he was once again back with his wife and able to travel back in time in order to see her again. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as the Speed Force and Barry Allen and the rest of the team, they'll probably have to go up against her and trying to take her down. I don't know, because Nora Allen West and Bart Allen are going to be on the show on the 150th episode in a couple weeks. So it's going to be a Team Flash, and obviously Barry has his kids helping him out and now his family. With more people added on to take her down or contain her some type of way, or go back into the past and a different timeline in order to change her. I don't know how they're going to do that. We'll see what happens with that. It'll be very interesting to see how it happens. For the past couple weeks now, something I obviously didn't like is the talking off the ledge of the villains is what they've been doing. They talked Psych off the ledge of killing people, but he disappeared. So that kind of didn't take place. So they tried to get at him, but he disappeared. So actually, that one doesn't count. So they talked out Abracadabra. They tried to talk down. They did talk down Ava, the Mirror Master, and apparently Iris was trying to say we can talk down obviously the Speed Force as well in order to change your mind, but she is way too powerful than all of them combined. So obviously those villains I said. And what happened is they let Abracadabra got killed, Psyche disappeared, he came back. The Mirror Master is still alive. They let her go back into her mirror world. She's still alive, so she'll be back before the season's over in some type of capacity. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that seems to be the case. Like, now they think they can, instead of actually taking these bad guys down and arresting them and obviously having them being thrown into a dark cell where they can't get out of it, they think they can just talk them down, and that's going to prevent them from stopping to obviously do commit harm to people. And obviously it's like a counseling session, and that's obviously something that is obviously really just annoying, and that's something that we know that can't happen at all. Well, not just most bad guys, but with all of them, that seems to be the case. Like, you know, it's the recurring generic theme. I can see the good in you, kind of like Star Wars. You don't have to do this. Just stop right now, walk away. You can have a better life. It's obviously too late for that, especially when these people have not only killed people but destroy half the city, obviously. So the Mirror Master, I don't know if she's going to help them in some type of way towards the end of this season 7, but we'll see what happens with that. Abracadabra was talked down by Barry Allen a couple weeks ago when he fought against him, obviously, as the Flash. But the Strength Force came out of nowhere and killed Abracadabra, so he's gone. like I said. So we'll see what happens with that. On here, we got this cover.com, it says Grant Gustin is reportedly thinking of leaving The Flash after season 8. It says The Flash is about to be hit by the loss of 2 original cast members, as both Tom Cavanaugh and Carlos Valdez, who play Cisco Ramon and Harrison Wells, have been announced to be exiting the long-running CW series once its seventh season concludes, which it's currently in. They'll be exiting the long-running CW series. It's raising questions of how long the rest of the main team will remain aboard, especially the main star, Grant Gustin, and according to a new rumor, it's possible that the Scarlet Speedster himself may be bound out of Central City after one more run. Insider Daniel Rickman has claimed that Gustin might exit the Flash following Season 8. We have found out Cavanaugh and Valdez were leaving. It was confirmed that the leading actor had already signed a deal with the network to return for the next outing with the rest of the main cast, such as Candice Patton and Daniel Panabaker, who plays Caitlin Snow. Candice Patton plays Iris West Allen. They're currently in negotiations to come back alongside him. The Insider is now saying, though, that Gustin is thinking of calling it a day once the 8th season run is up. Grant signed on for The Flash Season 8, but he's now thinking of leaving the show after that if it keeps going, says Rickman. So we'll see what happens with that. That's Fuerza, aka Alexis, or Alexa, the Strength Force. And it also talks about the upcoming 150th episode, which will bring back XS, aka Nora Allen West, as Barry Allen's daughter, Jessica Parker Kennedy, and it's going to introduce Bart Allen, which is played by Jordan Fisher, aka Impulse. So we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be the case, like I said, obviously. So there's a lot of stuff to go about, but it would be unfortunate if that's the case, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, with Killer Frost being gone and jail and Cisco leaving and Camilla and obviously Harrison Wells, they'll be back, but obviously they're going to be making cameo appearances on the show to help out the characters and the cast every now and then, obviously. So we'll see what happens with that. It's just very unfortunate that's the case. I wanted to show another article about this and recurring to what the shows are now. It says, this is ScreenRant.com. It says, this was posted 3 days ago on May 9th, 2021. It says, the CW's next Arrowverse crisis is far bigger than crossover. A new crisis coming for the CW's Arrowverse, and it poses a major threat to the multiverse, one that may not be able to be solved with a crossover. It says, a new crisis is rapidly approaching the CW's Arrowverse, and it's bigger than any crossover that the heroes have faced. This is, I don't know, it's really corny how I wrote this, but this is basically saying the crisis will have nothing to do with the heroes or the villains fighting for the control of the universe. It will instead result from the CW's golden age of heroes coming to an end. The Arrowverse currently consists of 7 interconnected television shows, with 6 currently in production, and 2 that will end at the completion of their current seasons, which are Black Lightning and Supergirl. So it's basically talking about how changes are obviously going to be happening, what will be taking place when they do another crossover before this year is over. I don't know, but they still can do it because any TV show or any movies that have obviously recurring cast members as superheroes have people die and come back, they go back in time, they bring people back from the past, other people mingling from other shows, so it's going to be crossovers. Like I said, there most likely will be another crossover this year, which before the year's over, which should be another Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't know if it's going to be called that, but it should be something similar to that, and it will be taking place. I'll be very surprised if they do not do one before this year's over. I'll be highly surprised. They need to do at least one more. Yeah, so they're saying. I know some people are saying at least. I know some people would say maybe 2. Okay, if they do 2 more, maybe, but at least it's got to be 1 more. I mean, like now you got Superman and Lois established now because they were just introduced in the last one, obviously. So let's see what happens with that. It's a lot going on right now. Like I said, all these shows are. It's gonna be, like I said, then obviously something that's been taking place is DC Legends is currently in their 6th season. Their 7th season is supposed to be the last one apparently. And Rory, who plays plays by Dominic Purcell, he plays Heatwave. He's leaving. She's left the show. He's not going to be in the next season, which could be the last one, which is season 7. He has left, so he already filmed all his episodes for this current season that they're in. I don't know if he's in the whole season, but he will be leaving at the end of that season. Obviously, the Green Arrow's gone. CW did not decide to pick up the Green Arrow and the Canary spin-off show, which was going to see Oliver Queen's daughter, Mia Queen / Mia Smoke, and his son, along with John Diggle's son, and obviously their friends team up to take down bad guys. They were going to be led by not Sarah Lance, That's Sarah Lance. I forgot her sister. She was supposed to be helped by them, and obviously that was supposed to be picked up, but they canceled it. Black Lightning's in its final season, its 4th season. There's 2 more episodes left. Next week's episode and then the following week, which will be 13 in total. The spinoff of that TV show is supposed to be Painkiller, which is going to see obviously Cleo Payne. Obviously reprise his role as Painkiller in a spin-off show that's supposed to be a little more dark and edgy than the actual show of Black Lightning. They already showed a couple of his backdoor pilot episode, which was the 7th episode of this season, currently the 4th and final season. That's going to be airing this summer, probably early fall. We'll see what happens with that. And Supergirl's obviously over, and it's being preceded by Superman and Lois, so that's what's going to be taking place. So some people are saying there's going to be a new Green Arrow and somebody's going to be taking over the spot. I don't know if it's going to be Connor Hawke in the future. That might happen. I don't know if that's going to take place, but if that would be kind of weird if they do that and they don't bring back the Green Arrow and the Canaries. If they do bring back Green Arrow and Connor Hawke plays him in the future, they need to bring back the Canaries, obviously. The Flash could be taken over by somebody. They said that somebody could take his place. So the only person I can think of is obviously currently Bart Allen, his son, apparently in the future would become to the present time of Star City in 2021 and take his place. I don't know if that's going to be the case because Wally West is no longer on there as Kid Flash. If they do decide to bring him back, which I don't think they will, the guy who plays the actor is basically done with this. We haven't seen Jesse Quick as well back on the show, another speedster, so we'll see what happens with that, obviously. But that's what's currently going on with the Flash and other CW shows as far as cancellations and what the future holds for the whole entire Arrowverse. So that's what's going on. Let me know what you have to think about this if you haven't been watching the shows, if you clocked out a long time ago, if you're still watching like myself and you're just waiting to see what happens. Obviously, you wait until the end basically. I stick around for a long time to watch these shows. Even if they are long, obviously, you still want to see what happens at the end and not miss out. So that's basically all I have to say about this in regards to The Flash and characters leaving the show and whatnot, and obviously the review of last night's episode, which was Season 7, Episode 9. Episode 10 will take place next week. It's going to see Barry Allen and Team Flash trying to help Fuerza, who has Alexa, harness her powers and her abilities in order to help herself out so she doesn't end up hurting people. Plus, she needs to protect herself because a Speed Force is coming to take her out. Psyche and the other Force member that's out there, I don't know who that is, but at the end of this episode, yesterday's episode, Season 7, Episode 9 of The Flash, she took out Dion, who was obviously he's the time god of the Speed Force. He was a time, he can control time and whatnot. So he was obviously very dangerous. So we'll see what happens with that. That's all I have to say about this in regards to The Flash, the CW, Arrowverse, and obviously all the rest of the shows obviously on there and the cancellations and whatnot in past, obviously, even including Supernatural, which was a long-standing show that just ended too, unfortunately. But it had a great run. I've seen every season, every episode. It was fun to watch. Same with Green Arrow. So we'll see what happens with that. And also currently on Black Lightning's all the seasons as well. I have them on DVD. I've been watching it since the first season of Flash. I started watching it at the end of the first season. It was I think it was the last 2 episodes when Barry Allen and Team Flash found out that Harrison Wells was actually the Reverse Flash. That's when I started watching it on TV a couple of years ago. So we'll see what happens with that. Thanks again and they're all on Netflix, by the way, so you can check them out, and also on DVD and Blu-ray on Amazon if you haven't caught up on any of them yet. And you can also watch them on the CW app on their website, and it's also on other streaming services. You can go on, if you have it on your TV and trying to get the CW app to download it, or you can watch it on their like I said, on their website for free. So that's it, CW Network. Thank you again for watching. That's all I have to say about this subject matter of The Flash, and obviously the the Arrowverse and whatnot, and all the rest of the shows. Thanks again. Bye. Thank you.